Welcome back to the Remotely Speaking Podcast. We're your hosts, Paul and Chastity Hawkins. I'm so glad you're here today. Today, we're going to talk about what it takes to be a successful remote worker. Now, even if you're a business owner, it's the perfect episode for you to listen to so you can understand the expectations for a remote worker and what they need to do on their part to be successful for themselves and for you.
Yeah, we thought it would be fun to talk from the remote worker standpoint. We've talked a whole lot about business owners and the employer side of remote work. We're going to talk about how to be the best remote worker ever.
Toast my
Let's do it. Let's talk. Did you toast my goat?
Of course I did. I have 2 little girls.
Barbie movie for
I
the
could say
win.
totally, but that's no fun.
No.
So toast my goats it is. All right. Wonderful. So, Chas, we have been working remotely for a long time. So let's talk about that for a second. I have been working remotely with only a few exceptions for 17 years before remote was even a thing.
Hmm.
And you have been working remotely ever since ARS was started, right?
Yeah, like 12
13,
or 13
12 to
years.
13 years.
Yeah.
And I would say between the two of us, we have a treasure trove of info of what to do, what not to do, what makes you a successful remote worker, what does not, from our own experience and from really helping out thousands of remote workers.
So much knowledge to share.
That's right. All the things.
All the things.
Yes.
I'm not going to lie. As a new mom,
Yeah.
when I came out of an office and came to work from home, it was definitely a balancing act. I had lots of lessons to learn. But I'm hoping now that the lessons I've learned can help other people. I've gone from working on the arm of the couch with the baby in my lap to, running 2 companies. So we've come a long way. Lots to share.
Let's do it.
I want to start, if it's okay with you.
Totally.
I talked about, that delicate balance and kind of the adjustments that I had to make. And I had to kind of evaluate, am I the type of person that can work remotely? Am I okay being alone?
Yeah.
Am I a self-starter? Like, can I motivate myself to do the work even if no one's watching, right? And so I think that it's really important before you dive into a remote work opportunity to really understand your personality and if it's a fit for you. Some people need interaction with humans in person.
Yeah.
Some people need a boss watching them to motivate them to do their work. So I think before we talk about any of the tips and tricks, really evaluating and being honest with yourself on whether or not it's for you is important.
And it's totally okay if it's not,
Yeah.
right? So as wonderful as remote work can be, it's not for everybody. And within our companies, we state as much like, hey, if you aren't the things that you just mentioned, like this isn't going to work out for you. If you need daily interaction, physical interaction with people, with your work, this is not for you.
Yep.
Right. If you're willing to get up early, be diligent about it, show up and every time get to work without anyone telling you to do it, it's gonna be great.
Yeah.
If you're not that kind of person, probably bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Probably better.
Not gonna work. Yeah.
But it's a beautiful thing to work remotely and to strike that balance and to come up with your structure of your day and to be able to do work and life and have it all work together seamlessly. It's incredibly fulfilling. But I think that being honest with yourself and really knowing whether or not your personality fits it is the first step. Like we have to address that before we address anything else.
Yeah, 100%.
So we talk about how to be awesome now.
We will. But first,
Oh.
I want to say that remote work, I love it. Right? I've been doing it for a long time, but it requires a lot on your part. Right? It has this allure, like, oh, I'll work remotely from wherever I want to work, and in a lot of cases, that can be the case. But it's still up to you to get it done, right? And so there's immense responsibility on you as a remote worker to do it right and to go above and beyond in a lot of ways you may not have thought of.
Yeah. You have to be a little extra when you're not seen, right?
Right. Yeah, you do.
So I guess that would maybe be our first tip
Yeah.
is be extra.
Be extra.
Maybe go above and beyond, especially when you're first getting started. You want to showcase your value. You were hired for a reason. Your employer chose you. You clearly had the skill set for the job, but you have to make that abundantly obvious. Put it in the face of whoever you're working for so that they know that you're not just home chilling in your yoga pants with your baby in your lap. In your laptop or in your that you are actually working, even if that is your setup, that's okay.
Yeah.
But make sure that they know that you're actually getting stuff done and being productive.
Yeah, absolutely. My advice to every remote worker, including ones that I've managed in the past, is in particular in the first month, go above and beyond more than you've ever done. One, to really showcase your value immediately, which you probably should do if you're in the office anyway. But regardless, do that. Second, is do a recap every week on Friday to your manager or your boss of what you accomplished every Friday until they tell you to stop, right? Because at some point they'll be like, yeah, I got it. You're working. But especially the first 4 or 6 weeks, hey, look, I got this done, this done, this done, this done, this done. I talked to these people. And you're just going to showcase exactly what you got done because it's really bad to make an assumption that they know. Chances are they probably don't. They don't see you. They're not talking to you because you're remote. Really important for you to communicate what you got done.
But do it in a professional way. Don't be braggy.
No, 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 no,
Don't
no,
be a braggy braggerson.
no, no,
Be like, look at all I did.
no. I'm happy to announce, aka Lincoln. Don't do it.
Yeah. Don't do the humble brag situation, but definitely like a hey, um, these are the things I have going on. These are the things we accomplished. These are the things that are still pending. Here's my plan for next week.
That's right.
Have a great weekend. Or you may not even need to do that if you have a CRM system or some kind of really good um, way that your supervisor can check in. You may still want to do a quick recap,
Yeah,
but just making sure that you are in the systems and you are documenting what you're up to, making detailed notes,
yeah,
staying on top of deadlines, because it's easy for an employer to assume or a manager to assume if they're not seeing anything in the system
yeah.
and they're not seeing deadlines being met, that you're just not working.
Should not work.
And that may not be the case. You may have some fire burning that you had to deal with that distracted you from your everyday stuff.
Yep.
But you got to let someone know that, right? So if you're not steadily working where it can be seen, then you need to make it seen somehow.
Yeah. So in my previous life, we had this thing called like a weekly report, and it was a big pain in the butt. However, looking back, really effective because every single week we had to make bullets of like, here's what I accomplished, right? Here are the blockers that I have, and then here's what I'm doing next week. And for you as a remote worker, like it just really showcases what you got going on, right? And as a manager, I actually love that because I don't have to spend 45 minutes with you asking like how'd the week go. You're gonna give me a quick synopsis because I'm a brevity kind of guy. And bam, I got it. Cool. You worked on these. Yes, this took a long time because I don't know if yeah, like there's lots of things in the systems that broke or the internet died or whatever it might be to explain how the week went.
Yeah. I mean, once you're established and your employer and all of your coworkers know how you work and get to know that you're reliable and
Yeah.
that you get your stuff done, being visible in that way, maybe in a weekly way, you can probably back off of that a little bit eventually.
Yeah.
But definitely first come out hot, be extra,
Or come out hot.
be that guy
Yeah.
or
Or
girl.
girl.
What's next?
Next one would be responsiveness. So another thing that I find to be very, very effective and actually necessary when you're a remote worker, especially at the beginning, and really for a long time, is be extra fast about being responsive, in particular to your boss and to your team members. So whether you're using like Microsoft Teams or Slack or text or whatever it might be, unless you're just buried into a phone call with the customer, if you get a message, do your best to respond really fast because if you don't, again, people's minds go to the negative. They're going to assume that you're you're chilling at the pool and not working if you take like 2 hours to respond. And so being extra diligent to be responsive at the beginning, super important.
Yes, and communicate if you can't be. If you have a doctor's
Yeah.
appointment, if you're going to be tied up, communicate, "Hey, I'm gonna be a little out of pocket today," or "My work hour is gonna be a little different,
Yeah.
so you may have to wait a little longer for response time." I think just communicating that,
Yeah.
communicating quickly, and then communicating why you can't if you can't,
That's right.
setting the expectations.
There's a theme in all of our podcast episodes about communication, right? Like we kind of hit that horse a bunch. But there's a reason because in remote work, it's a little different. You just don't have that natural like, "Oh, hey, boss, by the way, like tomorrow I gotta take my kid to the baseball practice." "Okay, no problem." You don't have that natural interaction, and so you have to be extra diligent of displaying your life, to your team and manager of what's going on. And a quick counter snapshot is a great way to do that. "Here's what I got this week. Monday through Wednesday, super good. Thursday, I got a couple of these things. This is how I'm gonna catch up my work later on." When you communicate that way in the office or out, actually works out really well because the manager knows like, all right, cool. You got life things. We all got life things, but you already have a plan how to take care of your work versus like, I'm just going to be out. That's not a good answer. Wouldn't be a good answer for me. I'm like, okay, cool. When are you going to get it done? And so if you have an answer of I'm getting my work done here because I'm doing X, Y, Z, it works out.
Yeah. So communicate quickly, and clearly.
And clearly,
Again.
again,
Um,
that's right.
all right. So I think another tip that I would have is establish a routine. As a remote worker, it's easy to sleep in and just roll out of bed and just get it done, especially if you're not in a job that requires you to clock in and out. Like if you're not a 9 to 5 from home, if you're as long as it gets done, where we say work to time, not to standard, or work to standard, not to time, you should definitely work to the standard.
Or to
Not
standard, not the top. Yeah.
work to standard, not to time. So if you are supposed to be working 5 hours, but it only takes you two, great, it's done. We don't really care. Um, but if you're not in one of those jobs that require you to clock in and out 9 to 5 or certain hours, then it's easy to kind of maybe I'll go run this errand first, or maybe I'll sleep in, maybe I'll have an extra cup of coffee. Maybe I'll go walk the dog real fast.
Yeah.
And before you know it, half your day's gone. And so establishing a routine as if you were going into an office, get up, shower, get dressed, brush your teeth, eat breakfast, all the things that you would do if you were going into an office, establish that routine and stick to it. Because you're going to show up at your desk or your arm of the couch or wherever it is that you're choosing to work much more prepared for the day. And you'll feel better about it.
100% agree. You know me well. I am a man of routine for sure. Established when I was in the military, like I got it down to a clockwork. I need exactly 7.5 minutes to do this. I need 35 seconds to take a shower, maybe 40 seconds, right? If it's not hot enough, it's about all I need, right? And so for me, routine is paramount. And it really leads to the right kind of trigger to get you in the mindset to work. And when you do that, you're going to show up prepared and ready to go. And so it does require some diligence to say, like, yeah, I'm going to wake up at 6 o'clock in the morning. I'm going to take care of the family and kids. I'm going to get my coffee ready. I'm going to get dressed. And that's when I get to work. But having a routine every single day is really going to help because if you leave it open ended, it's not going to work. You won't. It's too easy for you to focus on like, well, I could do something else for an hour, and it's real dangerous, right? Like, just get it done,
Yeah.
basically.
Yeah, you gotta dive right in. There's something to be said for habits,
Yep.
establishing those habits. And um, I back in the day, we have many layers. When we nutrition coached,
Okay.
we talked about setting yourself up for success by having trigger activities,
Yep.
which was like if you take a multivitamin, do that right after you brush your teeth or right before, or come up with a trigger activity that leads you to the next activity. And it's just, you kind of get it on autopilot. You build the habit
Mm.
by putting things in the same order every day. And so I think that that can definitely be helpful in the remote work environment, especially if you struggle a little bit with the self starting.
Yep.
Establishing a really solid routine that will set you up for success in your day. And then even with breaks, you can only sit there for so long. So make the routine with your breaks too. Get up from your chair and your desk and eat lunch.
Yes.
Go get some fresh air every couple of hours.
Yeah.
Stand up and walk around. Even if you're working in, like, throw laundry in the dryer as your active moment. There's a way to establish the routine that can create this really healthy work from home environment. So I think that um, the best remote workers have a really, really solid routine and schedule.
Absolutely. And you hit on a good point is that they don't sit at the desk all day long. That's actually a super fast way for you to have burnout. Really building in some active recovery is what we used to call it. Periods is super important. I'm a big fan of walks. It refreshes the mind. You get some vitamin D. You're ready to get right back to work. So think of if you're in the office, you're going to take breaks here and there to get some coffee. You might need to go to the restroom. You have lunch break. It's pretty normal for people to have these small, like 5 or 10 minute breaks throughout the day. I recommend doing the same thing, right? Every about hour, go ahead and stop for 5 minutes, recharge, right? Stand up, walk around, go back to it. Every 2 hours, go outside and for a walk for 10 minutes. So it doesn't have to be long, but that's really going to help you keep energized throughout the day versus feeling like, hey, I just sat at this desk all by myself for 8 hours,
Yes.
right? That's no fun after a while.
Yeah, and that's a good segue to another tip is self-care.
Yeah.
You've gotten this remote job probably because you needed some balance with something, right? And so building in self-care into your routine is huge. Obviously you don't want to stop in the middle of your workday to work out, but we had a fun remote service specialist for the Agency Resource Solutions years ago. She said every time that she finished working one book of business, she would stand up and do 10 squats. Like that was her trigger activity. It was her way of building in her self-care
Yeah.
in the middle of her day.
Huh.
Or every time she completed a task, she took a sip of water, whatever it was. And so I think that that was a really cool way to build that in your day. Set little goals for yourself, achieve those. And at the end of the day, you can feel really good about you've had some work done and you've built in time for you too.
Yeah.
You know, the walk around the block to get the sunshine, go snuggle your dog, whatever it is that you need to be doing during the day, you can work that into your day and still get your stuff done.
Yeah. That's great. Great point.
But
Great
sitting
point.
at home all day is not good.
No, no, it's cool for a little bit. It is. And then after a little bit, you're like, oh, this is pretty terrible. So, yeah, definitely build in the breaks throughout the day. So, it's a good segue into another tip, which is to make sure you have some sort of interaction with people.
Hmm.
As awesome as remote work is, if you're not careful, and we've been down this road, you can get really lonely, right? You just don't see 5, 10 people around you all the time or hundreds of people, depending where you used to work. It might just be the two, the two of you, right? The two of us, or just you, right? And it can get really lonely. So one of the ways that we figured it out, I said there's several ways. One is every day if you can, like get out and go to a secondary spot, like a coffee shop, for example, literally just to see people,
Yeah.
right? Go on your lunch break, get some coffee. You don't have to just walk in. Just literally go see people, right? If you've got some friends, talk to them or neighbors, whatnot. If you do just a little bit, doesn't take much, just a few minutes a day, you're not going to feel alone. You'll just feel connected, even if you don't talk with them.
Yeah. I agree. Even you introverts, you think you want to be alone for a long time, but it gets old.
No, it does.
And so making sure that you build in those interactions. We actually started off, we've been working remotely for 12, 13 years, and now we run a remote company. But we joined a co working space because we just needed to see something other than our four walls.
Yep.
We were like, you know what? Couple days a week, let's go in, let's have some hipster coffee in this cool hipster co working space, and let's hang with other,
Yeah.
know,
We don't talk to them,
maybe
but
entrepreneurs
but they're here. Yeah.
and watch their hustle. And we don't talk to them, but just being in the hustle and bustle of an office environment revived us in a way. It got us out of our house. It switched up the routine, but it was still a routine.
That's right.
So we got the good free coffee, and we'd find this really cool table with this industrial vibe. And we were really incredibly productive on those days.
Absolutely. Yeah. And we don't come every day. It's like a couple times a week. It's just enough to switch it up to get re-energized. And periodically when we do that for a few days, we're ready to go back to the house. Like, all right, let's go back. But I think the key point there is when you have every single thing under the roof of your home, it can be very hard to separate work from life. And so you run into a small problem of that work-life balance that people talk about where it evaporates because it's too easy to, oh, it's 8 o'clock at night. Let me go check my email. It's really easy to do that,
Yeah.
which is why it's really important for us, you, to set up the right remote working environment.
Yes. So I think that should be maybe our final
Totally.
tip. We don't talk too long.
Toast my goats.
But the you and the totes my goats. Having a dedicated space either in your house or if you're gonna go to a co-working environment, whatever it is, I think having a space that's dedicated to getting your work done really can help make you the most productive during your work hours. I know for a while I had my desk in the corner of our bedroom,
Yeah.
and that was not good because it I would go to bed at night and look at my desk.
Yeah.
And then the to-dos start going, right? So you don't have that mental break. So not only having a really nice setup, a million monitors, have like your whole command center.
Got to have a
Wrap-
command center. Yeah, absolutely.
The more monitors, the better. In Paul's opinion,
100%.
he has
I
one
need
that like wraps around his head.
I need a wall of mine.
Yeah. But having that'll make you a really productive worker, but it also allows you to create those boundaries like Paul was talking
Yeah.
about a second ago, where you can kind of close the door and walk away
Walk away.
and maybe give yourself that mental break because it does get difficult when you're home, work and life bleed together. And then if you're working out from your house too, you've got work life, gym.
Rich.
If you're homeschooling, you've got school, you've got all kinds of stuff happening in your house. So the more boundaries you can create, the better.
Sounds a lot like 2020.
Any tips for like super productive working environment in your house?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yes.
I mean, that's your jam.
This is my area. my area of expertise. So first, if in the case you have a studio apartment, you're like, where am I going to go? My bedroom is my apartment. Absolutely recommend getting like those recording dividers and literally divide off where your desk is, so you can't see it. If not, try to find another dedicated space in the house. If you have a house that's big enough, find another room or another area of the house that's not your bedroom. Do not put it in your bedroom. All right. Second is having a desk big enough to be super productive, right? Some people like a small space. That's not me. I like a command center table where I have keyboard, places for notes, note cards, planners, two monitors, you name it.
17 whiteboards.
You gotta have white. You gotta. How am I supposed to think? I need a whiteboard to draw it out. You know this. Uh, and that's number one. It's really just having a good dedicated spot that has the right around monitor space. If you don't have an extra monitor, do it. Like, even if you think you don't need it, yes, you do. I promise you, your productivity will increase if you have an extra monitor with your setup. The bigger the better, in my opinion. Make it really big. Second thing, this is actually really important. It goes along with, for me, cleanliness of the brain usually comes from cleanliness of your space. So when you have a clean desk, it's not a messy trash can. When it's clean, your mind's clean, you're ready to work. When it's a mess, your mind's gonna be a mess. Now, this works for some industries, but if you're there to do detailed or detail-oriented work, make sure your desk is clean. In fact, clean it before you start working, clean it when you're done. Helps like a champ.
For sure.
That's right.
And have a comfy chair, but
Absolutely.
not too comfy.
No. No, I like just a steel chair.
Just a really nice chair. I mean, you're gonna be in it a lot. Not steel. What?
What? Yeah,
Like the folding chair?
absolutely. It works great. I can't get comfortable. I have
So you guys are envisioning Paul's workspace, a giant conference room table with 17 monitors
That's a steel chair.
and a steel folding chair.
Yeah, it sounds perfect.
Now, have a good, comfy setup, something that's productive,
Yeah.
and makes you feel good, something that is nice and clean and bright and makes you happy.
And inspiring.
Inspiring
I
space, yeah.
Yeah, I joke
Got it.
I joke about the chair, like, you in podcasts, you see plants and stuff. Have plants, right? Have stuff that is inspiring to you. It might be a picture of something you always wanted to do, right? Perhaps it's a cruise or something. I got a picture of that. Things that really inspire you, it actually works, right? Having a space that's nice and inspiring gets you inspired to do work. Just like our co-working space, like, this place gets us kinda jazzed up to do work when we're here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Totally.
All right. Shall we recap?
Absolutely.
The best remote worker.
The most is bestest.
Yep.
Mm.
All right. So let's recap. First off, you need to decide, does remote work for me?
Absolutely.
Am I the right person?
Yes, right.
Second
Yeah.
was,
You need to be extra.
yes.
Yes.
Be extra, showcase your value, especially in the beginning when you first get started.
100%. Number
Number 3.
third, this is for all the people that speak English good. Number 3 is to communicate often and consistently what you're doing every single week.
And when you won't be available.
That's right. When you're not available, that's right.
People know where you are and what you're up to.
Yep. Number 4 is responsiveness. So being diligent to be responsive to your boss and your teammates when they text and send you messages, especially at the beginning as they get to know you, make sure you're extra responsive to them
Then we've established a schedule and some self-care.
and a routine.
Get routine.
That's right.
Same thing every day.
That's right. Make sure you have a routine that really helps trigger you to be as productive as you can be. Key thing with remote work is being productive.
Yes.
More than anything else is be productive. The next one is, well, we talked about self-care. And then finally was the remote setup.
Yeah, your environment. Make sure your environment is conducive for working.
That's right.
Get your command center.
That's right. Make sure you've got 17 monitors, not 16, 17 monitors, 2 keyboards in case one breaks.
Or if it's a laptop on your dining room table, at least make sure it's clean.
That's right. Then you daisy chain 2 or 3 of those laptops. So you got extra email centers to work. That's right. And at least 4 plants,
Yeah.
not 3. 4 plants works in your room. Just my point with this is make sure it's inspiring.
You're ridiculous.
I love this stuff. Make sure it's inspiring.
Yeah.
That's right.
Set up your space. And then that should set you up for success, right?
Absolutely. I've seen it work many times. I think in summary of this, Jazz, over the last, let's just say 20 years for ease of talking. In the last 20 years, I've seen remote workers be the most successful when they've done those things, especially when they communicate often, they're very responsive. they're overproductive, especially at the beginning, and they really showcase their production. And then they protect themselves by having a right dedicated space, self-care, and a routine so that they aren't in this full work mode for 24 hours a day, which is what could happen at home if you don't kind of separate the two. Those things combined, I've seen people just be incredible for years,
Yeah.
actually.
Oh, we forgot the human interaction part. I knew we were forgetting one.
This is good. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So we also threw in there, call it number 4.5. We threw in go see people.
Go see people.
Switch it up every once in a while. Go to a coffee shop, go to a co-working space. Switch it up. Get some social interaction so you don't feel on an island.
Absolutely.
We got them all, right?
I think
I
so.
think so. If we
That's right.
forgot one, ignore that.
I have one last one. Drink lots of coffee. It's life.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's how I hydrate. So I highly recommend it. Yeah. That's my health advice for the year.
Caffeine is definitely life. All right. So we hope you've learned a lot about how to be the best remote worker ever. And if you are an employer, we hope that this has given you maybe some tips to coach your teams
Absolutely.
on what you need from them or what you'd recommend for them. You don't want to burn out, no work-life balance remote worker. You want them to be implementing some of this so that they can be the best worker for you, but also for themselves.
100%. 100%. Uh, Last parting comment for a business owner in this case is the people part might be a little difficult, right? Especially if they're really far away from you. So periodically having video calls so you can see the remote worker face to face, super important. It's really good for them too, right? It gives you at least some semblance of human interaction. And so don't go too long without doing it. That's really important for the team for them to see your face and vice versa.
Agreed.
Absolutely.
All right, let's wrap this thing.
Cool. Well, look, thank you so much for listening to the Remotely Speaking podcast this week. Hope you enjoyed it. I hope it was really helpful. If you haven't already, be sure to like and subscribe and join us on YouTube, Amazon, and Spotify, and wherever else we post this thing, which is hopefully everywhere, so you can get all the latest upgrades.
We're also on social media. You can follow us on Instagram at Remotely Speaking Podcasts. If you want to check out the two companies that we run, Agency Resource Solutions and AR Sidekicks are those companies. So follow along, see what we're up to. We will see you next time.
Talk to you later.